3.
I love this notification. Frank, we are live.
Better than the alternative.
Anyway, Frank Wazeter is my genius website designer, also the real stock speculator on the team. And a couple things we want to accomplish today. One is to get used to going live on Facebook and YouTube and getting some interaction with people in our audience. We've really not spent a lot of time promoting the show, and now we're beginning to get serious about it, and this is part of that initiative. Second thing is to follow up with a conversation Frank and I have been having back and forth about GameStop, Reddit, short sellers, retail investors, that sort of thing, kind of get an update on where we are in the investing world at the moment. And the third big thing is to introduce the couple over my shoulders. These are a couple.
Do they have names or?
Well, we haven't named them yet. I think we're going to wait. That's my wife. My wife's a fine painter, and she does these Tiepolo and Klimt and John Singer Sargent, things like that. And I think these are from a couple of Dutch paintings. And what we do is depending on their moods, we either have them looking at each other or away from each other. And today they're looking at each other, so they must be. It's a happy day.
Maybe we should have a competition on the show, poll for names or something like that.
Oh yeah, I'd love that. Or maybe not. I don't know.
Depends on the result, right?
Yeah. So, Frank, GameStop, Reddit, the forces of Wall Street arrayed against some online traders. That thing ended up with a market cap of GameStop in the billions and billions of dollars for a business that's really not. It's really sort of a 20th century brick and mortar business in most ways. Where is that now? There was a roaring, there was a big roar. There was a congressional hearing. There were lots of people weighing in. What's the state of play?
Well, so kind of after hitting a high of I think the official high was right around 500. It dropped all the way to less than $50. Like it was in the $40 range.
It went up to 500 from $16.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what was interesting was that the CEO of Interactive Brokers came out right before the congressional hearing, and he says that had the brokerages not stopped the trading on it, the people that allow you to buy and sell these things act as the middleman, then it would have likely reached the thousands of dollars, and that was a huge liability for them. So they just kind of restricted it down. So it crashed from 500 down to 400 after coming up from $16. And this congressional hearing happens, and one of the so they got the CEO of Melvin Capital there. They got the CEO of Citadel there, the CEO of Robinhood there, which is another brokerage. And each one of these guys has 16 people helping them in the room. And then they got this one Redditor there who was kind of the guy who first did all the research on GameStop and said there's an opportunity here. And he's got nobody there to help him, of course, but he made it entertaining. And because every single time he got to speak, he would try to lace in an internet meme within it, well, Senator, well, Congressman, I just like the stock. That's why I bought it, or these little things like that. If you hadn't been reading it, you wouldn't, it'd fly over their heads. So afterwards, after this congressional hearings, it soars back up to $120. And because the same thing is going on, there's still 140% of people, or 140% of the shares of the company are still being shorted in the market. So it's still so you get the big guys leaning into their plays, and then the small guys leaning into their plays, and it's making it more extreme.
So is this good versus evil? Or is this just people making a market?
thing is, I like to say it's good versus evil because it's nice to see the big guys, looking really nervous. But I don't know. I think it's just the market being the market, really. If I'm trying to be a purist with it, someone made a bet that didn't work out, and another person, made the other bet and it worked out.
Well, for me, I'm not current with this. I was very current on the capital markets a decade ago, and then I merged my business and have gotten into, for whatever reason, politics and policy, and makes me kind of miss the stock market, which at least is clarifying. And the thing we've got on the one side, we've got a big hedge fund, several hedge funds that have taken a short position against a group of retail investors, which have been driving this stock up. And 15, 20 years ago, that was an impossible situation. The small investors had no ability to communicate, and they couldn't really make this kind of market moving work on any stock of any size, really. And so the capital markets have been a very unlevel playing field. We got the big institutional investors and the hedge funds. And one of the things that always irked me as a CEO of a public company who was forced to disclose every aspect of our business every 90 days in our quarterly reporting, there's very little disclosure that the hedge funds are forced to do about their positions. And in particular, there's very little disclosure about who holds short positions in your stock. And furthermore, there's an awful lot of fiddling around. You're supposed to sell a stock short only if you've borrowed it from somebody. But there are an awful lot of people who short the stock without borrowing it, which is called naked short selling. And there's a lot of that going on. And it's been a Wild West opportunity for hedge funds, for small and mid-cap companies for the last 20, 25 years, where they can take a position in a company short and then put out rumors and get some bad publicity in a company and drive the stock down and hopefully make a lot of money. And consequently, in addition to all the regulation in the markets, just the fact of the hedge funds has made it a hostile place for small cap companies. And that's why there are about half as many publicly traded companies as there were 20, 25 years ago. And again, so fast forward to today, and you've got these guys acting as an investment club, really working together. And just sharing information, which is, by the way, what hedge funds and institutional investors do all the time. They used to call them their pizza dinners. They'd get together and share ideas. Well, now we're doing it online. And it seems to me
get a slice, I get a slice,
I get great.
Get a slice.
Yeah. I wish we had this kind of information available to us when I was running my company, because it sure would have been a great way to get out and communicate with people directly. So we don't have a lot of time today. We're going to be cutting this one short. This was more of an experiment to see how it would work. And as I understand it, this is also being simulcast on YouTube. Maureen, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
So I think we'll try to schedule this every week on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. East Coast time. We may have to vary that because we've got a lot of other shows and stuff we're doing, but I'd like to get a dialogue going on with people in the audience. And so not quite sure how we get the word out, Frank. We put a question. Maybe we can, I see somebody, we've got Majanga on, who's always got very interesting comments on my show on YouTube. Majanga wants to ask a question or make a comment. Be happy to hear from you. I find your point of view extremely interesting and fun, which is what the internet needs. Hold on a second. I've got another one here. What are we seeing here?
He's on Facebook. Joe Korf.
Joe Korf has got a question?
Nope. He just
saying hi. All right, Frank. Well, you're my tech guru. What's our next step with our Facebook Live? What do we want to do going forward? What do you think the best way is to build an audience on Facebook Live?
Well, I think, we just get it going, regularly scheduled. So, our fans like Mujanga and can get accustomed to seeing it kind of going through and back row. And you should definitely run for governor. I hear there's a spot opening.
Maybe it's been suggested that I run for governor. I've had a, oh my, that would really, anyway, I've had a lot of people suggest that, but I'm concerned that Virginia is pretty much of a blue state now. Tough to get traction for libertarian people with my views. But anyway, I appreciate the thought. So maybe sort of stopped me short. So anyway, thanks for joining. And Frank, let you and I just found my notes from the last show we were going to do together. I will do a little more research this next time. But in the meantime, thanks for joining us live in this experiment, and we'll be back next week or sometime soon with another episode. We want to get a dialogue going with people, and hopefully that'll build over the next couple of months. So anyway, thanks.